Thank you so much. I want to appreciate you once again for taking out time to watch my videos. This is a continuation of the Tithing Explained. I've just done part 1, 2, and 3. So if you have not watched part 1, 2, and 3, please do well to watch part 1, 2, and 3 before you watch this part to be able to get a holistic understanding of Tithing Explained. And also watch my video on the origin of tithing so that you could understand how tithing came into existence. Because when understanding of origin of a thing is not known, misuse is bound to happen. So it's important that we understand the origin of it. Now we go through part 1, 2, and 3 of this video, Tithing Explained. Check out the scriptures that I've mentioned to be able to have a holistic understanding view of the truth. Because the Father seeketh those that worship Him in spirit and in truth. For you to be able to worship the Father in spirit, you must first know the truth. Moving on. I mentioned in my last video that we should be careful in quoting Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 to 10, to shame people to give tithes. That verse of scripture actually started from Malachi chapter 2, verse 1, and it was to the priest. And the priest we are talking about is the priest from the Levite tribe. The priest from the Levite tribe, who their genealogy was Levi, who had a bloodline from the Levite bloodline. So, Pastor, is your genealogy from the Levi church leader that shame people to tithe? Is your genealogy from Levi? Do you have the bloodline of the Levites? Please stop saying you are a spiritual Levite. Nothing like that. He said that you have that lineage. And if you are to talk about anything spiritual, then we should talk about the Melchizedek order, which is now who we are as believers. We are operating the Melchizedek order. That being said, moving forward, many will say tithe was mentioned in the New Testament. Tithe was mentioned. Let's look at it. It was mentioned in Matthew chapter 23, verse 23. And also in Luke chapter 11, verse 42. In the Renewed Testament. And so, it should be paid. That will be their argument. Note, Yahushua was talking to the Pharisees and the scribes. He started by saying, "Woe to you, Pharisees and scribes." And these Pharisees and scribes, they were Israelites and they were Judas. And it was in their commandment to pay tithes. So they were using it as a yardstick to say, we pay tithes and offering. So the important thing is we should overlook it. So we are religious people. So Yahushua told them, there are weightier matters than tithes, which are right ruling, also known as justice, and law for Allahim Yahweh. Law for your Allahim Yahweh. Law for your Most High Yahweh. The Pharisees also mentioned it in his prayer. because it was his tradition in Luke chapter 18, verse 12. When he was praying, he mentioned it. So would you say, because they mentioned it, so tithe must be paid? These people were Israelites. And the tithing system was for the Israelites. They had a bloodline. Let's move on. In Hebrew chapter 7, verse 5, Hebrews 7:5 mentions those who are the sons of Levi, who receive the priesthood, have a command to receive tithes from the people according to the Torah, that is, from their brothers, though they have come from the loins of Abraham. Verse 6 of that Hebrew 7, verse 6. Melchizedek, whom genealogy is not of Levi, receives tithe of Abraham. That's the Melchizedek order of priesthood. Verse 8. The Levitical priesthood that died receives tithe, but there is one of whom it is witness that he lives. The one that lives is Melchizedek. And that through Abraham, even Levi, who received tithe, gave tithes. So we could see that there is only one that lives. And that one that lives received tithe. That one that lives was Melchizedek. Therefore, Melchizedek is the one that lives. That Melchizedek is Yahushua HaMashiach that came as Melchizedek to receive tithe, and after receiving tithe, in the process of time, he came to make us kings and priests through his blood. Revelation chapter 1, verse 6. In summary, in this kingdom of priests and kings that we belong, this kingdom of king and priest that we belong, that phased out also Levitical priesthood, we are taught to give in this kingdom. Giving is important in this kingdom. But do not use tithing to cajole people. Tell them the truth about the tithe system. And teach them the truth about giving. Yahushua taught giving. The disciples taught giving. The early church were into giving to the point that they sold all and brought it to the apostles' feet. The giving of the early church was also for even distribution of resources. Just as the tithing system was also for the even distribution of resources. Not to fund men's kingdom. Not to fund church program. Not to fund pulpits. Not to fund buildings. We are to give with a cheerful heart. Willingly. Not grudgingly. With a cheerful heart, we are to give. So in this kingdom, giving is important. Dear pastors, dear church leaders, dear people, stop cajoling or shaming people with Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 to 10, to shame people to give.